with today, and we're joined by His Excellency Governor Rotimi Amaechi, Governor of Rivers State. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you and good morning.
Well, talking about this EVD now, yes, we do know that Rivers State's just doing what they can to see that this is sorted out, but what can you tell us now about how you're handling this in the state?
Well, I think we're in control of the situation. You must not forget that the day this so-called diplomat came into Port Harcourt, we were aware. We were called by the Lagos State government. We must thank the Lagos State government. The Lagos State government called us that somebody appears to have escaped from Lagos to Port Harcourt, who they suspect may be Ebola virus positive. And then they gave me the gentleman's number, and they gave the number to the Commissioner of Health. We called this man's number for over 2 days. He refused to pick, and he was ringing. We couldn't track him. 5 days or some few days after, he appears in Lagos. Were you in Port Harcourt? He denied. Did you touch anybody? He denied. So Port Harcourt was exposed for 3 weeks. See, if he had said, yes, I was in Port Harcourt, yes, I saw the doctor, then you can quarantine the doctor and observe the doctor and his family. Then you wouldn't have had to watch or place over 200 persons under surveillance. So in our own case, unlike what happened in the case of Sawyer, where everybody, Lagos State government took charge immediately, in our own case, for 3 weeks, people were exposed. But fortunately, the tracking and tracing has been wonderful. We've had a series of help from the Lagos State government. They sent their team. The federal government sent a few persons to join. Then you have World Health Organization, you have Doctors Without Borders, and other organizations who have joined the Rivers State government to do this tracking and tracing. We have brought in, I read in the papers, that's why I'm here, to make sure that nobody politicizes Ebola. I read in the papers where, I think it's a Punch, where he said that the Rivers State government said they have quarantined 200 persons. They are mistaking quarantining you and isolating you. In the case of quarantine, you can remain in your house, but you're not allowed to go out, touch people, meet with people, and all that for 21 days. When you are in isolation ward, then you are symptomatic of Ebola, which means the symptoms are existing in you. You have fever and all that, so we want to place you on our clinic and observe you and treat you. That's why we encourage everybody to come in. We have said to people that Ebola is not necessarily a death sentence. You can reverse it if you begin the treatment of the patient. So when people run away, then they are running to their own death. But when you come in and say, yes, I met the doctor, or I met with somebody who met with the doctor, then the Rivers State government will take over.
So does it mean in that 3 weeks, the doctor, nobody showed up saying, I've been in contact with this person?
No, first and foremost, nobody told you that.
Wow.
The doctor did not mention to anybody that he had just treated an Ebola patient. His wife, who is a medical doctor, who is here in Lagos, did not tell anybody. Then the so-called diplomat, the Olu Ibuku Koye, did not tell. In fact, he denied when he was confronted. He denied. So you had a situation where nobody knew. Then the doctor, having gotten money from the Olu Ibuku Koye, held a child naming ceremony.
Wow.
And invited people. When the doctor died, the wife is a medical doctor. The wife knew the dangers of Ebola. She allowed people to come from Anambra or other places to pay her condolence. All that shouldn't have happened if we were on the know. If this Olu, whatever I call him, Koye, had mentioned to us that, listen, I made contact. But however, when they now on their own made contact with the Ebola lines in Lagos, then we were alerted by Lagos government, we were alerted by the American embassy, and we quickly went into that. That's why I stopped my tour of Obiabo, because I was worried that a lot of people could be exposed. So we stopped, and then we said, governance now is to focus on Ebola. And so we're focusing on Ebola, and I'm very pleased and impressed with the level of work that they have done.
Before that, because a lot of people will say that states were getting ready for any eventuality. They didn't know what could happen. So you find that a lot of states were doing preparations. But it would seem that you got early warning. The Lagos State government called you that they suspect that somebody has skipped surveillance and could be in your state. Did that set any alarm bells ringing for you? And did you make any provisions just in case that kind of thing happened?
Instantly, I released it. I released about 300 or 350 million to the Ministry of Health. That's what they applied for, to buy the necessary equipment in preparation for an Ebola. It wasn't just because Lagos State government warned me. It was also because that you cannot have Ebola in Lagos and not have it in Port Harcourt. These are two, both commercial centers and business centers in Nigeria. So there's no way a Lagos person won't come to Port Harcourt. Vis-a-vis a Port Harcourt person coming to Lagos. So we quickly said, okay, fine, let's buy the equipment. We bought all sorts of PPEs in preparation for Ebola, in case they have Ebola, what the doctors need to wear, what they need to do, and all that. We got in contact with some people who are in contact with Emory University to come and train. Don't forget, we are in the training of both private and public doctors when the Ebola story broke out. So it wasn't as if we were not prepared. No, I hope Nigerians remember that what was in the air was Rivers State government trains doctors in Port Harcourt on how to handle Ebola patients. And we made it clear to them, if you suspect anybody of Ebola, don't treat. Transfer to. We had then designated somewhere as the isolation ward. So it wasn't something that we were taking unawares. We're not saying that the man did not report to reduce the number of contacts. That's our own annoyance. But as for preparation, we were prepared.
So what can you tell us? I mean, the diplomat was in Port Harcourt for about 5 days or so. We understand he was in a hotel being treated there. What can you tell us about the state of that particular hotel? And, well, we're not asking for names now, but at least, you know, because the hotel became a victim through no fault of theirs. Yeah. So what can you tell us about the state of the hotel and the process in terms of the number of people who could have come in contact with all the ceremonies and all that happened during that period?
All the persons that came in contact with him and the doctor have been brought in. When you say bring in, it does not necessarily mean that they are inside government house or with the Ministry of Health office. They have been quarantined. That we have done. We have decontaminated the hotel so the hotel can go about its business. So you can use the hotel. If they pay me as their advertising officer, I can go there so people will see that you can use the hotel because we've decontaminated the place. We've decontaminated even his hospital. But you know, typical of some Nigerians, they start writing on internet, oh, the hospital is still open. But once you have decontaminated the place, you have decontaminated the place. The place will remain closed forever. You need to do that so that nobody goes to have further contact with the place. And don't forget, people do business in that area, and they really have to do their business. So but what we did first is to get everybody that have had contact with him in the hotel, and people that have had contact with him in the hospital, where he was treated, and his own private hospital. They're among the 200 persons. And they have been placed under surveillance. So far, 3 persons have been taken to our isolation ward, out of which 2 of them have tested negative, even though they are continuing to observe them, but they've tested negative. The only person who tested positive is the elderly woman who presented herself in the hospital for cardiological problems. She has a heart problem, and she was admitted in the hospital where this man was treated, next to him. Now, she is tested positive. So for now, we have only 1 patient who has tested positive beyond the doctor who died of Ebola.
What about UPTH? Because you said that when they brought the morgue, they didn't tell
the
attendants.
Yeah, we have also decontaminated the place. The good news is that the 60 persons that the Commissioner for Health said we were looking for are in. People are volunteering. Okay. Oh, I made contact with this person and all that. And we're happy. And that's because of the way we've passed out the information. It is not a death sentence. It can be managed. The Rivers State government is ready to manage it on your behalf. All we want is to present yourself. So that morgue has been decontaminated. The Rivers State government with World Health Organization have said, well, by the World Health Organization protocol, all the corpses that came the same time as the corpse of the Dr.Enemoah will be buried this week by the Rivers State government. The families can come and observe, but they won't touch the corpses, neither will they bury. Not that those corpses are Ebola positive, but since they make contact at the same time, we want to do the burial, all of them, including that of Dr. Enemoah. That's what will be done this week. So the morgue has been decontaminated. The workers who prepared his body are under surveillance. They've been quarantined.
Oh, such a